to work together and speak about it, and it just changed my life.
Well, in fact, that leads into the next question, which is, how did the humanitarian work alter your perspective on life?
It's given, I think at the end of the day, we're all alive to get to know ourselves and each other better and to be of some use in this world. And when I was growing up, I felt I didn't really feel very good about myself. I was, and later came to realize that it was because I really was not of use to others. So it focused me on life, and also just, I met refugees and these people that had gone through so much, and had woken up, in my own, just worried about, traffic or my family or some stupid job or something, and then you get to a place and you realize how lucky we all are, and I since have not complained about anything stupid or superficial since, and I'm very, very aware of what should be our priorities, and they're anyway.
Can you talk a little about activism in Hollywood? Do your contemporaries really care? Is there Hollywood in general, and then your generation of stars in Hollywood, and who do you have a lot of respect for the kinds of things they're doing for humanitarian causes?
God, I do think a lot of the people in the film business are just simply haven't traveled. They just don't know, and I do believe they're good people at heart, many of them. And if they were more aware, they'd do more. I kind of have to believe that. There are a lot of good people. You asked me different people I know. I don't actually know many. We don't kind of get together, and so. But I do think Bono's been doing some great things, and yeah, quite a few other actors are recently. Brad Pitt went to Ethiopia, and I know when I was doing the documentary, and I'd asked people would they go to Chad's young kid Ryan Gosling. Said yes, I'd love to learn, and someone else went to Kosovo, and someone else went, and they all came back emotional and different, and so yeah, I do think they have it in them, and they will do more, and especially if they're encouraged and not criticized when they first take that step, because I think that often happens in the press. We see somebody do something, and immediately it's just they shot down, so they get shy and go back inside. So maybe a little encouragement would help.
Next question is one I know my Business Week editors would like me to answer. That is, how do you balance your day job with your extracurricular activities?
It's become a very fuzzy line as which is which now, because I haven't actually worked for the last few months, and I'm having more trouble going to. I think this has kind of taken over my life more than anything else, and I'm very happy about that. So hopefully I'll be doing a little less film work and a little more of this. For now, sorry. But end of the day, I'm a mom, and that's my life. So last night I was running around trying to do things, and my son was spilling food all over my speeches, and and somehow we cleaned it up, and I'm here. So, but that's I think you find balance when you're happy and you're focused on the things you really care about, and so it's become it's a joy.
There were a few questions that slipped in about your film career. I was wondering what you're most proud of that you have done. I mean, you've won Academy Awards, many others. What do you like most of what you have done so far?
Oh my God. I don't watch my own films. I'm a terrible judge of my. Recently I did an animated film, and my son thinks I'm cool. So that was. But the interesting thing is, I was saying earlier that I've done films that in this business are had some good critique, and some have been completely panned as crazy, like Tomb Raider films are not considered these really deep films, but I can go to the middle of Asia and Africa and make a little kid smile because he recognized it, and so they're my favorites. And that's
Someone wanted to know about Catherine the Great and what made you take that role, and if you enjoy playing a historically misunderstood character.
It's extremely misunderstood because I'm actually not playing. So it's a funny. There's so many bizarre rumors. I've been fighting that one for a long time. I don't know where that came from, but I'm not playing her. I'm sure she's fascinating, and I'd love to play her, but I'm not as of yet.
So, well, we know about believing everything you read in the papers. Have you ever considered just going and doing a movie, fiction movie about the kinds of things that you're working on on refugees, or do you think the documentary route and the book route is the best way to highlight it?
I think for now, certainly documentaries are, because I think there's nothing more powerful. You can't recreate in a film what these people and these children are really like. So the real situations, I think, are just much more powerful, and so probably documentaries.
Now we have various questions about what's going on at the U.S. borders. If I can swing back over there, is there anything else that you would like to see the U.S. government do or Congress do other than the legislation that we discussed that you're going over to Capitol Hill to talk about? Are there any other priorities that you think either the federal government or Congress can adopt that would make a difference with refugees at the U.S. borders?
I'm not sure. There are actually many different things, but what I've learned visiting Washington a few times is you have to stay very focused on at least one thing at a time and push it through. So yeah, my mind is on lots of different things I've become aware of, and I will become more vocal on. But as of now, I'm just going to keep shouting this one to make sure it goes through.
All right. Other than the issue that we touched on with North Korea, are there other forgotten refugee problems that haven't gotten a lot of attention that you'd like to shine a little bit of a spotlight on? Are there areas in the world that you think are underreported with the problems of the plight of refugees?
There are so many. UNHCR works in over 110 countries. So pretty much everywhere in the world. We have the Congo, because I've been there quite a few times, and I know it's been exploding again, and worried about that situation. I'm worried about the situation in Burma, or Myanmar, to be politically correct. But the people inside, the internally displaced persons inside that area, I'm very worried about them, and I think none of us really know what's going on. And I'm afraid I don't want it to be like the situation in Cambodia, where we discovered too late how many lives were lost and how horrible it was. And I do think that's what's going on inside there. Southern Sudan. So, and that's more internally displaced. But Uganda, there are many. Child soldiers is something that I think, and you asked earlier if there's going to be something to address that, because I mentioned Uganda, that is something that I think, I'll later focus on.
What are the common threads?